Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
So by basically buying the position in the Forex and then buying the put to protect it, what that equals a call option. So you could shortcut that whole process just by buying the call. Because the reason why you buy the spot position is you want the unlimited upside, am I right? And you buy the put because you want that to protect your downside, right? So that's what it's there for. Well, if you buy a call, you still have the unlimited upside, but you have limited risk to the downside as well. So it's just like if you were to line these two up, and so Bill, don't take my word for it though. Construct the trade and compare the two. So do exactly what I'm saying. Do it the way that you suggested, and then watch it for a few days and see how it worked out. And at the same time, compare it to what if I had just bought a call, because that's basically what you've just suggested. It's a call option. Okay, Patrick, did you say these options can be bought through equities brokers? Yes, they can. So these are exchange-traded options brought to you by the ICE exchange, and that means that they're transparent, which is great. That's a big change for Forex traders, I have to say. And yes, they can be purchased through an options broker, like you would buy options on Google or at Microsoft or whatever. You can trade these the same way. Let's see. I think we've answered most of the questions. Any other follow-ups?
John, I think you've done a great job. It looks like you have answered all the questions.
Okay.
Why don't you take a moment to just, I guess, summarize everything. I mean, you've given so many ideas. I love the idea of talking about news in the terms of volatility because, as you said, people always try to define what is the news. Like, are we watching GDP numbers or unemployment? But like you said, it's going to vary. So think about it in terms of volatility. I loved how you actually described options as sort of that embedded stop loss order. So many great ways to teach options, John. You did an unbelievably great job in the last 45 minutes. You're going to show us your website? That's awesome.
I was going to just do this really fast. So, and I always like to mention that if you come to our site, it's obligation free. So, so don't be afraid that we're going to pitch you on something. Everything's free. So, and I wanted to point out two things to anybody who's interested. So all you have to do is go to learningmarkets.com. And we do, most of everything we do is all like application based, which means that you see us doing things, so if you're interested in learning how to trade options or the Forex or stocks or whatever, we're trying to produce content that's very application oriented and as far away from more pure theory as possible, because we find it's more engaging, it's a lot more interesting for us. We think that ultimately it helps it helps traders a lot when they're new to something. So I mentioned two things. For those of you who are interested in seeing more about our daily Forex analysis, the Forex tab along the top of the site, we run actually a webinar every morning. You could attend live and ask questions, etc. You can sign up for that here at the very top of the page. We record it and it's posted about an hour later, so you can watch the recording. You can see the most recent events just run right here on the bottom of the page. We do afternoon events as well, where we cover more of the, we touch on a little bit of what's happened in the currency market, but we spend a lot of time on stocks, options, etc. And that runs in the afternoon. You can get to that through the Ask the Expert tab here on the top of the page. And these are, again, recorded and available for you to review, or you can attend them live and ask questions, etc. So you can do a lot of follow-up. And then I also mentioned that we do demonstrate trades. So here on the far right-hand side, we've recently been producing a lot of trade articles where we actually walk through, all right, how would you actually set this up? What does it look like, and what happens over time, and how do you deal with it if it's a loser, and when do you decide to take profits if it's a winner? So you can kind of see, all right, so how does this work? And it answers a lot of the questions that traders who may be new to a particular strategy never even thought to ask. And for those of you who are more experienced, we may be throwing out a few ideas that you may be interested in, and we'd love your engagement. So we're very interested in what you have to say as well. So again, it's learningmarkets.com. The three tabs that I think you might find that this crowd would probably find the most interesting would be the Ask the Expert live event, the Forex live events. They happen again daily, and the Trades tab. So come check us out and let us know what you think. We take your feedback very seriously. Well, looks like we haven't had any other questions come through. So I think as my parting comments, I would say, again, I would reiterate, there's stretching out a little bit beyond your comfort zone, whether that means you're stretching out into Forex options being an options trader, or whether you're stretching out into options as a Forex trader. It's probably going to pay off in the long run, because what you're introducing into your portfolio or into your account is a lot of flexibility. So as a parting shot here, I would suggest that it's worth the time and effort to learn a little bit more about the market. And it's definitely something that even for aggressive traders, I think has a lot of application and flexibility, even if you're only planning to hold a position maybe for a few days. So for those of you who are Forex traders and used to really short time frames, Forex options can give you a lot more flexibility than you might have thought originally.
John, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
You did a great job. You really did. Just want to remind everyone, John showed us his site, learningmarkets.com. Go and check it out. As John said, they have webinars in the morning. They also have afternoon webinars. What more can you ask for? That they give you free education. John was mentioning about how they actually go through a trade. I would highly recommend it. John, thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Thanks, everybody. I hope to talk to you again soon.
Take care, John. Thank you, John Jagerson. Really appreciate it. You did a great job today. And please, I just want to, again, remind everyone, bookmark learningmarkets.com. Seems like a great place to learn more about not only currency options, but currencies, equities, ETFs. They have basically all the asset classes covered, so go and check that out. Just a reminder, while there are the symbols, I had many attendees asking me what the symbols were. So there they are, whether it's Australian dollar, British pound, Canadian dollar, euro, Japanese yen. We also have some of the smaller currencies. The bid-ask spreads are a little bit wider on those. The Swedish krona, New Zealand dollar, Mexican peso, Brazilian real. We have those also. Please check out our site at fxoptions.com. Next week's webinar will be with Mark Sebastian. So if you want to learn more about options, he's going to be talking about calendar spreads and diagonals. He is an option trader. He's been trading options for better part of 3 decades. Please join us September 21st. And then an ISC favorite, John Person, will be back talking about spotting high probability trading opportunities using the ISC FX options. Please go to our site, fxoptions.com. We just launched another new tool. We have the skew charts that are available, and you can always ask the expert, which is me, Steve Meisinger, any kind of questions. You just go to the Trader Forum and ask the expert. I want to thank John Jagerson again. He did a great job really talking about trading the news and what it means in terms of volatility and using options. And I want to thank all of you, the attendees, for the great questions and taking time out of your busy day to spend an hour or so with the ISC to learn more about currencies and options. It's always about risk-reward, so yeah, you and only you can decide. It makes sense for you, but as you learn more, you might find that currency options are the place to be. Thanks so much, and I look forward to having you come back next week when we have Mark Sebastian. Have a safe trading day tomorrow. On behalf of the ISC, this is Steve Meisinger wishing you a great night. Bye now.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.